Well, Devs is a prime example. So Devs, it was another Alex Garland TV show, but this is the other thing as well. We kind of had this idea. Okay, so basically it's like Apple or it's like Microsoft. This is a huge computer company in San Francisco, and what we're going to do is that we're going to make the score out of their employees that get together every week to sing in a cafe. That's like, okay, so they're not very good singers, and they're going to sing weird kind of cover versions of stuff and make weird noises, and we're going to take that group of singers and make that so it's tied into the TV show.
Yeah,
do you know
because
what I mean?
Alex had talked about cults. It's a cult, and we thought, well, we'd do this sort of cult work choir. They're happy clappy. They sit, and we went a long time having fun.
Did. Yeah,
got a group of Americans who live in Bristol and around, and we sat there. We did cover versions of Fleetwood Mac songs and blah, blah, blah. And we had this great idea, and this was all while Alex is shooting, and we got a bit carried away with it, I suppose, and then played it to Alex, and he went, I don't think this is right. You need to come and visit the set. So we went to. They then built a set in Manchester, in a massive soundstage, and they built. I don't know if any of you've seen Devs. Have you seen Devs, the TV series? There's the quantum computer lab is a building, and they built the whole building in this sound studio in Manchester. And we went along. We tried. This is another thing, another good point to take. If you can go along and visit the set of the film that you're scoring, it's invaluable. It gets you fired up for it, but this set visit made us realise where we'd gone wrong with our idea of the music, because we turned up and it's this unbelievable. It was like walking into an art installation, a massive gold-plated building, and all the panels that have got this shimmering gold were all for real, painted gold. You know, there was about 450 of these panels. Yeah. The quantum computer was built for real. I mean, there's VFX gone in to take the floor away and stuff like that. And all these sort of vaguely religious paint, sort of sculptures and windows on the wall. And we suddenly realized this is a temple. This isn't like Rough and Ready singing in the village hall after work. This is like pristine, and of course it's Alex, you know, he loves his sort of pristine reflections and all of this, and there's something unbelievably religious about this whole thing. So it's not a cult as in a happy clappy thing, it's a cult as in very serious, almost like a religion. And so the whole palette for Devs, everything was either shiny, like the saxophone, but the saxophone almost became like a call to prayer. We just grabbed from every sort of new age, you know, we wrote a hymn that was used throughout. We used sort of temple clocks, bowls and chimes, and so it's just this sort of mass of religious stuff. If we've got time, can we play the beginning of Devs, and then that will probably be. We won't play all of it, but we'll play the beginning, and you'll just get the idea, because it is an interesting. It is an interesting thing into a palette, and this was quite a big palette. Me and Geoff are fans of minimal palettes, and Alex sort of isn't, and that's why and this is very rich and full and religious, I suppose.
Biotech?
A misuse of resources.
Cold fusion.
Alchemy. lead Faraday shield, a 13-yard thick concrete shell, then a gold mesh, then an 8-yard vacuum seal, totally unbroken. Then the labs, and in the core, the machine.
The labs are inside an unbroken vacuum seal? How do we get across?
You'll see. It's pretty neat. Last chance to guess, Sergey.
Quantum cell phones. This entire structure is supported by electromagnetic fields.
Yeah.
That's the machine.
It's the central unit.
There's more?
Above us, below us.
How many qubits is it running?
We good?
Yeah.
A number.
That gives you the idea. So you can see how a rough and ready group of Bristolian Americans singing
Yeah, it's not going to work.
what wasn't going to work.
No.
And then that's, I mean, I think Devs is probably the most palette-driven thing we've done in terms of a wide scale palette, and it was totally governed by visiting the set. Well, obviously the script, but visiting the set. So if you get the chance to, I think almost everything, the main focus of what we've been sort of saying is as students now, you're very concentrating on your own work, and that's the way it's got to be. You know, you've got exams to pass, you've got stuff to do. But in the real world out there, every aspect of being a film composer or a film sound designer is collaborative and governed by practical things, like, you know, the director wants to just totally silence your bit of music and put silence in. There's nothing you can do about that. And creative collaborations.
Yeah, I think, but also what happens is when you start off, you know, working with like young filmmakers or even, you know, either singers, artists or whatever, if you're producing people, like the first thing that people try and do is trying to make it look like it's at least professional, because there's like financial limitations in filmmaking and so on. You can't just go out and get an orchestra. Luckily enough, you can, you know, there's all the library stuff you can use now. But so it's weird. It's kind of what I find is that you kind of, first of all, everyone's just trying to make it like, well, does it seem professional? You know what I mean? First, that's the first level to get to, because you're all learning. You kind of want to go, you know, is this of a quality? Do you know what I mean? So sometimes you end up kind of copying stuff and not taking huge risks, because you're trying to make like sound design. You know, you just want people to believe that someone's walked into a cafe. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so the idea of doing something like, you know, Gravity or Chernobyl and that stuff seems like a million miles away, because people just want, well, I want the sound of someone using their phone. Do you know what I mean? It's like the practical stuff that overrides everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a different concept to bring into film kind of goes out the window because you're struggling just to make it sound real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, but never be scared of taking those chances earlier on, because those are the films and those are the tracks and those are the mixes that make you stand out. Yeah. They are really, you know, it's like everyone can work up to a professional level, but it's like, do you really just want that to be, you know, once you get there, are you stuck?
Yeah.
You wanna go past there if you can. You all of you do. You know what I mean?
But you know, there is a perfectly justified and valid career in working for Hans Zimmer, for example, and being one of the team of Bleeding Fingers and doing natural history scores or whatever, which is sort of what I was doing, not for Hans Zimmer, but you know, it's got a language, you do it as professionally as you can. But I can tell you from experience, and this is just me, obviously, but the difference getting involved with creative filmmakers and the creative possibilities that gives you, the sort of angst, but also the sort of joy of it. It's like we're incredibly lucky, and if you can grab a little bit of that, even if you find someone who's got your, you know, a filmmaker out there who's got your sensibilities, and you think, I could really make your stuff work, and get involved in the whole process of filmmaking, and not just the decorating at the end. I want to be part of that film. It's so rewarding. It's
I mean, we've all seen it. I mean, with films like Under the Skin, and you know, like what McAlevey has done, and like, you know, what amazing scores can do for film. You know, when they're different. I mean, so always keep that weird thing in mind, really.
Yeah, and
I mean, it's worked for us. We're very lucky. You know what I mean?
If you've got a thing that you specialise in, writing music, whatever that might be, if you've got a niche, you know, maybe it's like really hone in on that. You know, there's no harm in. It might be that you are the next Hans Zimmer clone, and you're incredibly talented across the board. But great. And that's
no, clone. It was clone that got me.
Yeah.